Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back. Sunday night, we had an unbelievable game week in Sky Bet League One. We are reviewing match day 6. We had 4 derbies, 5 derbies. Wigan Stockport's not a derby, really. They're just geographically close to each other on a map. But if you want to include it, it's 5 derbies we had. We had 2 Yorkshire derbies. So they were intense. We had a Shire derby in Lincolnshire. We'll get onto that in a minute. We had a Lancashire derby. And then we had Wigan Stockport, which are geographically close to each other on the map. So we had goals in every game. We have a lot to talk about. And I've got a lot to talk about, as always. It's not often that I've not got a lot to talk about. But to join me tonight is my friend from the Shire. He's called Jake Tong. You're on mute, lads. As always, every week, you've been on the show for 3 years, and you have this problem every week. How are you, mate?
I just want to make it clear that Lincoln versus Mansfield is not a derby. It is just a local game.
A local affair, is it?
It's a local. It's a local affair, but Mansfield fans I don't like, and they didn't help.
How far away is Mansfield from you?
45 minutes.
How far is Grimsby away from you?
45. Yeah, but they're the same. They're the same county. Different.
Right, okay.
Different.
Okay.
Mansfield.
All right. Is Blackpool derby? Blackpool Bolton a derby?
No.
They're different counties. Yes,
Hey?
mate.
No, it's
It
not.
is a derby.
Mate,
Mate, I'll tell you this now. Blackpool, their derbies is Preston, then Bolton, and then Fleetwood aren't even in probably the top 5 for them.
I don't see Mansfield as a rival. I see them as a local game. But to be honest, as long as we've been in League One, we've not really had to worry about them because they could never get themselves promoted. So, you
now, though, aren't they?
I'll tell you what, mate. We had drama this week because we had there was reportedly a shooting near the ground before the game. So all the
now, I must admit, right? I heard about this and I got my hopes up.
Cheers, mate.
And then when I saw your stand was closed, I thought, oh, hello.
Sonny's been shot.
And then I was thinking, I tell you what, if he died, I'm going to ring Sue and say, how selfish is he?
Not for being on League One Live, and also bear in mind, Nappers, you pretty much you're booking me out this week, aren't you? With
I'd have been like,
go on.
Barley, mate, you're right.
Can I just say, you know what you did last week when you predicted the Stevenage game? Because I just watched it back. He has sent me the same text word for word as to what you said earlier. So you said 5 wins from 6. I love this team. Go on, the boys. He sent me that text word for word. So appreciate that, Mr. Farley. But yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm a little bit disappointed. I feel a little bit let down, but such is life. I've had a nice day today. I've been for a pub quiz where I made the quiz master go to VAR to make sure I got the right answer. Right, I'll ask you this question, right? Because I know you would have watched it. In the Grimsby Man United game, right? How many times did the ball go in the back of the net? Never said how many times.
What was it? I think it was 12-11 on penalties.
There he goes. By the way, he's texting me now. This is Farley.
Is he watching?
He's watching. Hello, Farley. Nice to see you, sweetheart.
I wonder where Farley is.
Oh yeah, I wonder where Farley is.
We did this for 3 hours on the way to Wembley.
All the way to Wembley.
I think it was 12-11 on pens. I think.
Yeah, it was. That's right. That's right.
It got to Kinder Bueno and he missed. So that's 23. Grimsby scored 2, 25. Man United scored 27. Because they had 1 disallowed, though, didn't they? 28?
They had 2 disallowed.
29.
29. So I put 29 as the answer, and the quizmaster said 27. So I went up there and showed them the clips of the disallowed goals and got myself a point and got points taken off other teams. So I was very happy.
That is such a Lincoln City thing to do. Miss, I'm right, you're wrong.
I was right because there were 2 disallowed goals. There was 1 for handball and there was another one. But yeah, no, it was. He sent me 7 text messages while he's been watching. So hello, Farley. Nice to see you.
Get 7 phone texts a day.
Oh, look at you. But yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm decent. How are you? How's your weekend been? Obviously, you had a good win yesterday.
Yeah, very good. We'll come to the comments soon, so keep commenting. If you could give us a like, that'd be all great. But let me know how your team went on this weekend in the chat down below. Yeah, good early kickoff. Difficult place to go is Barrow because last year was horrific. We lost 2-0. We're down there after 9 minutes. The sending off changes the game. I thought it was a harsh red card, but he's the last man, so it has to be given. Similar to the Lincoln game, really, where
it's not the same as Sonny Bradley's, but it's not. But I can see where you're coming from.
Ryan Graydon is going through on goal. He's going away from goal. Is Ryan Graydon, and I never really felt Graydon was in control of the ball. When they went down to 10, I was dreading it even more because Fleetwood can't break down the back line. And for half an hour, it was literally pass. We had so many opportunities. Finally get the goal. I make myself look like a tit on the halftime show. So basically, I have to kick a ball from the halfway line to the corner flag. I got nowhere near. And I got called a few self-choice words, shall we say. Not very friendly. By the Barrow faithful behind the goal. So I thought, oh, great idea. Half-time, 1-0 up, by the way. No, Fleetwood's record. Just half-time, 1-0. And they're giving me that. And I have the greatest of ideas to go like that and walk off.
You were hoping that Fleetwood were going to see it out second half, or else you weren't.
I tell you what, Lynch made an unbelievable save about 2 minutes ago. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, look, great victory, 11 points. I genuinely now think we are maybe 1 point away from a quarter of my target towards safety in the Football League. We're 9th, in and around where I think we'll finish at the end of the season. The table's inflated right now. No, look, we've got the same record, Jake.
We're 9th.
Yeah, we've got the same record. Look, the table's very inflated right now. If you average those points per game over the course of the season, Fleetwood Town will get promoted. Do I think we'll do that? No, I don't. Do I think we're one short? Yes, I do. Left back. Good victory. It's against 10 men. But yeah, good weekend.
Are you excited for tomorrow?
Deadline day? Yeah. We're going to do what?
Are you excited for tomorrow? It's a big day, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if my centre forward stays in the building, Ryan Graydon, I'll be very happy. But quite nervous, but no. Look forward to it. We're going to do a Ranking League 1 transfer window. So that should be out Tuesday, all being well, or maybe Wednesday. So let's come to the comments as well. Hello, David, who's been a member for 7 months.
Is that it, David? 7 months.
Hello, Nige. Hello, mate. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Ian. The Mansfield and Lincoln is not a derby. Well, fair play.
You maybe should have told the 1,800 fans behind the goal that yesterday.
Bluebirds, yes, we'll come to them. They're off Thursday. Yeah, to be fair, that does look like a well done, Jake.
Thanks, Sue.
Where else are we?
Praising me for what I do.
There's a lot of good evening. Hello, Ben. Hello, me lover. How are we, my mate?
Bristol Rovers, what a team! Up the gas! Come on, I love the gas. Get in.
You know something? Well, you know that they were giving out 3 points. Now they are the driver's license. They're the ones getting flashy, flash, 3 points on their license.
Not everyone can be...
Not giving it away. They're getting it on their license. How good on the boys?
Oh,
hello, Chris. I hope you're well. Ben Chandler's in the Jake. House proud. Look, so proud of the boys yesterday. I must admit, my favourite part yesterday was when Pete Wild did his fist bump, and he looks over at the director's box to basically say, So yeah, quite happy with yesterday. Beating Grimsby isn't for everyone, boys. We did it last year, mate. So this is where Jake goes, we're too good to beat Grimsby. We don't have to worry about that.
We don't have to worry about playing Grimsby.
if you did in pre-season and you lost. So, are you ready? Cardiff City 4, Plymouth Argyle 0. 5 wins, 1 draw, 5 clean sheets on the spin for the Bluebirds. Scored 11 now without reply in those last 5 and a bit games since Peterborough opened the scoring on the opening day. Last one 4 in succession without conceding in February 2018, and one of only 4 clubs to win their opening 3 home league games. And Ruben Colwell yesterday stood out to me, getting his goal, getting an assist. 3 goals, 1 assist this term, really starting to add goals to his tally. And you look at Cardiff City for the rankings, they've got the most goals in the division, goals conceded the fewest, possession, they're up there with them, they've got the most. You understand that's going to be the way with Barry Murphy, possession-based football. I still think it's going to be suited towards August, September, early October type of weather. Yes, pitches don't get as bad now. We've discovered that. But I feel when it gets to the rough and ready part of the season where teams are battling a little bit more, that's when we'll start to see Cardiff City being tested. But what we can say right now, they've come up against different sorts of sides in the likes of Peterborough to Wimbledon to Luton to Plymouth. And they've kind of come up trumps with every single one. Port Vale, they weren't great that night, but they didn't lose a game. They kept a clean sheet and come out with a point. XG, 4th highest shots per game, 4th. XG conceded, 2nd fewest. So it's a really good sign for the Bluebirds. I was critical of Barry Murphy as an appointment. I wasn't a massive fan of him at Rochdale for the style. I didn't think it would be well suited towards this division. But from 6 games so far, they're thriving. What a goal from Wintle, by the way. For me, could get goal of the day, one of the goals of the day in League One. It's an absolute rocket from 20, 21, 22 yards out into the top corner. The next 2 are deflections, but it's the kind of look you get when you're top of the table. Those fall for you. Probably those would go wide or go in the back of their own net a couple of years in the last 12, 24, 36 months. And the 4th goal is a decent goal by Isaac Davis, who's been outstanding. So, full credit to Barry Murphy. I've been critical. I apologised last week, and it's a great victory. We'll come to Plymouth in a minute, but Plymouth are, at this moment in time, they're a bit of a charity case.
Aren't they? Aren't they just Plymouth Argyle? I think they've been to the new Cardiff City Stadium twice, a couple of times now, Ben, and they've lost 5-0 and they've lost 4-0. So it's not a happy hunting ground.
I've had 6 Texas.
You've had 6?
From Farley.
Oh, you've had 6? Well, I've got 7. So 1-0.
You've always got a one up me, you, haven't you?
Yeah. 1-0. Get in. 1-0. Oh, Alex Mitchell at the back post. Go on.
Farley's going to send me 2 more texts now, isn't he?
No, he's not. Maybe he might do. I mean, I wanted to touch on Cardiff then, because you have. I'd like to formally apologise. I know you did a TikTok apologising to Cardiff fans a couple of days ago about, I put them 9th or 10th in my predictions this year. I just thought the winning culture that they didn't have, the losing culture that they had, was going to give them a real big struggle. And they've not really, apart from obviously they signed Ojo this week and Nathan Trott, but apart from that, they hadn't signed a huge amount. And I thought that was going to go against them, because I didn't think they'd be as strong. But the players that they have in the building have really stepped up, haven't they? The likes of Ruben Cole, the likes of Wintle, who we've seen do it at this level before, Ben, for Blackpool, that year that they got promoted. He was a massive part of that team in the middle of midfield. It was fantastic for them. Chris Willock has been a very good championship player for the last 6-7 years. So I'm not surprised that playing at League One is beneath him. So yeah, it's a very good start to the season, and I would like to apologise to Cardiff fans. Not only are there a lot of Cardiff fans that tend to give you a bit of stick, but they are in a great run of form, and it is good to see a team in Wales putting wins together and doing it the proper way, rather than buying their way to promotion like we had to deal with last season. In terms of Plymouth, yeah, I worry. I know they got the number 9 with Talaj. For me, Ben, and I know you're in the camp that agree with me, I think they're massively overpaid for Laurent Talaj.
He's probably worth half of it.
Yeah, if
you
that.
know something, if he stayed at Vale, I don't think he is enough to keep Port Vale in League One.
No, I don't.
I think if I'd been worried about that, I don't think he's enough to get Plymouth firing.
Yeah, it's difficult anyway. It's particularly difficult. But yeah, I worry for Tom Cleverley, and I have done, because a lot of Plymouth fans are now starting to get on the back. You know, that's 5 defeats in 6 games, despite the win over Blackpool the other was it last week. The same issues are cropping up, aren't they? They're being ragged around, dragged all over the pitch. Defending is horrific. They haven't got a huge amount of attacking output, 3 shots on target compared to Cardiff's 10 yesterday. So, look, Plymouth have got to be busy tomorrow. Plymouth have got to be busy tomorrow. They need to back Tom Cleverley. They need some more players, because by the looks of it, he's struggling to turn to that bench and have any confidence in that bench. You know, he's brought on Hatch, who's a young kid, Pebble, who's probably not quite at League One level. They had obviously a number of youth players have been involved this season as well. So yeah, I am worried for Plymouth at the moment. But Cardiff, they look like they're taking to this level like a duck to water, or a bluebird to sky. Maybe is the better analysis. But yeah, a fantastic resounding win for Cardiff. Colwell, Willock, and Wintle all getting goals and assists in the same game, which is a nice plus as well.
The thing is for me as well with Plymouth, I hate to say the word because Sue will kill me, but pathetic. They've done so easy, so not ready. They can't compete, and 4th fewest goals in the division, 2nd most goals conceded in the division, 2nd fewest goals scored, XG 6th fewest. And I'm not believing this XG, but I think it does count for a lot. And Bolton Wanderers, I want to come on to them. I'll make a point. Bolton Wanderers, if XG was a thing, they'd be top of the league. And so it's just fine margins at this moment in time. But these aren't fine margins with Plymouth. They are getting destroyed. The Bolton away game was 2-0. It was lucky it wasn't 5. Genuinely, that's how it felt. And like, although Bolton weren't great and didn't have too many shots on the Plymouth goal, Plymouth didn't really do anything in the game. And I looked at it. They conceded 20 shots on target in 3 away matches, 18 in the last 2. They conceded 9 of those. 45% of the shots they're conceding is going in the back of the net. They've had 7 shots on target in the away games. They scored 2. They look pretty tame, pretty pathetic. And you go through the lineup and it's like, it's bang average. It really is. It's like, you know, Mitchell, yeah, solid enough League One player. Is he a top end League One player?
I think so.
I disagree. I think that it'd be good for. It's good for a side that are between 8th and 12th in the division, where Lincoln were. I don't think he's
that's factually incorrect. 7th. So
7th. He's good for a side. He's good for a side that want to push on, but realistically,
this year. That's where they are. That's where they are on the table.
Brendan Weirdo looked good in a really poor side, and I like Brendan a lot. You know, a lot of people. I'm not being solid. It'll take time for him to adapt there. You know, Boateng, Watts. Again, some of these players. I look at that squad. And for me, a few years ago, you look at the spine of their team, how they got promoted. They had leaders. They had leaders who were Hardy, Danny Mayer. You know, they had leaders throughout that pitch.
Edwards.
Yeah, exactly. And in all through the squad, I can't remember the whole squad off by heart, but they had leaders, they had experience, they had a real back in Cooper in goal as well. Was a great goalkeeper. You could see the spine of the team. At the moment, this team feels cobbled together. It does. And it's like, they had a nice balance a few years ago with youth experience and it all blended together. At the moment, it's like they've got a lot of attitude and players from all different backgrounds. And it's kind of like, there's not really mix. It's kind of like you're just hoping for it to mix. And it's not quite done that. Do I think it will? I think it'll get better, but I don't think it'll get too much better. I think this side is bottom half. I'm going to be honest with you and say that. I put them in the playoffs. How wrong was I? A lot of work needs to be done. We'll move on to Barnsley, Huddersfield. We've been very critical over Barnsley over the last few years on this show about missed inconsistency, home form, conceding sloppy goals at home. And although they have conceded in every home game so far, they've conceded 4, 2 to Burton, 1 to Bolton, 1 to Huddersfield. even 2 in the cup to Fleetwood and 1 to Rotherham in the cup in the 5 home games that they've had. They're now scoring a lot more goals. I mean, Davis Keeler-Dunn has 29 goal contributions in 48 league appearances for Barnsley. That is ridiculous. It's literally 2 every 3, isn't it? That's really, really good. Barnsley got the joint most goals in the division. They've got a spirit. They've got a hunger. Look, it helps why Owen Goodman throws one to Keeler-Dunn in the first few minutes, and Barnsley go a goal up and then gets himself sent off. And after that, Barnsley, they go 2-0 up, they go 3-0 up. Huddersfield try and make changes to get back into the game. Joe Taylor scores his second goal of the season. You know, that'll do him the world of good. I think that he struggled for time. He looks a little bit, I don't think he looks as sharp as he once did, if I'm honest with you. I look at his persona and I think that, not to be harsh, but I think he's got a bit of weight on. I think that I know he's that type of player that is quite stocky anyway and holds it. But I look at him and I think, I don't think he's quite happy there, if I'm honest with you. I think that,
Joe.
Yeah, he doesn't look, and you look at him and you think Lincoln got the best out of him. Lincoln loved him and nurtured him, and he was the main man. And I think he thrived off that. At Huddersfield, you said that about, I think was it you that said about Huddersfield, they've got a lot of good play, but a lot of egos in the forward line. You think Harness, May, Taylor, Charles, you know, it's a lot of egos. So,
not a forgiving fan base either, Ben. If you make a couple of mistakes in a Huddersfield shirt, for another example, you speak about Joe Taylor, but look at Lass. Right? Lass left Lincoln as the best right wing back in the league, right? He's gone to Huddersfield, can't get a kick.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to expectation. I think at Lincoln, if you're a 7 out of 10, that's appreciated. If you're a 7 out of 10 at Huddersfield, it's like,
in League One, it's not great, is it?
Exactly. At Lincoln, it's like, great. We want that one consistent. At Huddersfield, it's like, So that's it. You're a big club, big expectation, big budget. And I'm not saying Lincoln aren't, but Lincoln are kind of happy to be here. I kind of feel at times within the fan base. But on to Barnsley first. Excellent. 3 goals, 3 points. Conor Horan started well. Some great victories. The Burton one came from behind. The Huddersfield game, great victory. The Plymouth, brilliant away victory. Peterborough grounded an unbelievable away victory out. Just one poor performance at Wimbledon. Great victory. Owen Goodman becomes the first Huddersfield Town goalkeeper to be sent off in a league game since Danny Ward in the Championship in May 2017.
And bless him, he's been.
He got promoted that year, by the way.
Yeah. Have you seen what Danny Ward's been up to this weekend? Ordering from McDonald's with his arm in a sling. Have you seen it in a service station?
No. Wonder what his Mackey's order was.
Defo, I reckon he defo had a double quarter pounder with cheese. Get the protein in. Yeah,
if you want the protein, get either a grilled chicken wrap or southern fried. I've been on them recently.
Here he goes.
Vulcan, mate, come on.
Did you think it was a red card?
Yes.
I agree because his foot's very, 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 very high and unnaturally so. And also he catches him with the elbow on the way out, doesn't he? So for me, I think he's given 2 reasons to send him off. So I think Huddersfield fans can complain, and that puts you on the back foot, or despite being 1-0 down already. I thought this epitomises what Hura handball is, this game. I thought that this was the best example that we saw of it, the way they kept the ball, the way they moved into the Huddersfield half and had the ball in really nice areas. They were selective about when they shot, and when they did shoot, the shots were genuinely on target or of high standard and forced the goalkeeper to at least make a save. So, yeah, very good. Davis Keeler-Dunn, obviously, I think they'll be hoping that they can keep a hold of him between now and 7 p.m. tomorrow night. No, I'm not. If I did, you'd see my very nice big pecs, of course. But yeah, no, a very good win for Barnsley. We've spoken about them being inconsistent at Oakwell specifically since they've been back in League One, but this is an outstanding result for them. Huddersfield, I completely agree with you. The expectations there, Owen Goodman's given them a mountain to climb completely. So not a good day at the office for Huddersfield, but I think Huddersfield will have more on days and off days, and yesterday was just an off day for them. They've got a good enough squad. If they add Will Alves and then they add Redmond, I think that's a good window for them. But yeah, good result for Barnsley.
Been great at home, not conceded a goal, but conceded 6 in the last 2 away games to Blackpool and Huddersfield. I think that games where it goes for a 15-20 minute period of they don't have their moment, and Pete Wild often says this, and I was having a chat with him off camera the other week about every team will have moments in games, and Barnsley had a 15-20 minute spell where the momentum was with them. They're at home, they got the tails up, they're 1-0 up, the man sent off. That's their moment. Huddersfield lost their heads in that moment, and the 1-0 down, they're down to 10 men. At Blackpool, they get caught into it. The 1-0 up, they concede 3 in the space of 10-15 minutes, and then they've got it all to do again. And although Blackpool conceded and had a man sent off, Huddersfield had it all to do again and couldn't break it down. I'm just asking for Huddersfield away from home to calm the game down, to get through difficult moments. And how often, I sound like a broken record on my vlogs when I say it, get through difficult moments, get through this next 5-10 minute spell, just wave it, because you will if you get through it, you will have a spell of your own and you're coming back into the game. And I feel that Huddersfield just need to learn to take the sting out of it, but I think that'll come as Grant gets more experience in management and as I feel they go away. At home, we've got no issues with them, but I think that away in a big atmosphere, they go to Bradford in a few weeks, and you talk about that, not derbies, that is a derby, and they could be pet by the chickens here, eh? If you know, you know.
Another team getting pet by the chickens.
Yeah, exactly. They all love it. Talk about pet by the chickens. Wimbledon yesterday did. Bradford 3, Wimbledon 2. Bradford are one of only 4 clubs to win 3 out of 3 home matches this season. All by the odd goal, and in every single game, they've had less possession. And I think Bradford are a better team with not having the ball, basically. They beat Wycombe, they beat Luton, and they beat Wimbledon. They've got away at Stockport and won. Northampton, they didn't play well, got a point. They got a point at Peterborough, should have won that game. K&A scoring a late goal last week. And yeah, it's a stat for you that I was very surprised about. Bradford won an EFL game, having fallen behind twice in the game for the first time in Opta's records in 2004. They've not gone behind twice in the game and won. And one thing I found very interesting, having watched the highlights back, watching vlogs back from the game, watching Graham Alexander's interview more so than anything. When Bradford went 2-1 down, through, by the way, Wimbledon's 2 goals through Marcus Brown and Matty Stevens. Brown's goal is unbelievable from outside the box into the near corner. And Matty Stevens is an unbelievable flick into the corner. So Wimbledon have scored 2 great goals away at Valley Parade. And this is the Wimbledon. It's not like a big club for the level, no disrespect, where it feels like Wimbledon at home is a target. If you want to get promoted or being around the top 10, top 12, you try and target 3 points. And when they went 2-1 down, this is when you know Bradford City are getting things right on the pitch and off the pitch now. If they'd done 2-1 down yesterday, I've been on a losing run and they've started poorly, they've not won yet, what's going to happen? It's going to be boo or fucking sort it out, Alexander. Boo, come on. You're not fit to wear the shirt. The negative atmosphere is flat. Because he started so brightly and everything's going around, the roar was, come on, and then he's come on, City, blah, 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 getting behind the lads, and the atmosphere roared it on. And he made changes. He brought Sarcevic on, brought Will Swan on, scored the winner. It's incredible what's happened in that football club. For me, the turnaround in the space of 2 goals in 3 minutes. You talk about moments. Bradford had a spell of after the goal that the momentum was with them. They scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. Bobby Poynton, a Bradford-born lad, had loan spells around the area. He's contracted for another 18 months till 2027. I generally think you could see playing in the Championship in the next 12 months, if maybe with Bradford, maybe not. Early days yet. And then Swan, look, it's basically got momentum. You're chasing down the keeper. Bishop's made a mistake. It comes to Swan, it goes in. Unbelievable atmosphere, 19,000 yesterday in the crowd. Great victory, 3 goals, 3 points. Another fine margin game of football for Graham Alexander. And how often do I talk about? By the way, I said Wimbledon would lose 12 games by the odd goal. 3. There's 3 now. They've lost all 3 games by 1 goal, fine margins in every single one of them. And I reckon they feel like in every single one of them, they could have justified a point. Potential, definitely away at Luton. Cardiff scored a late goal. Bradford away from home, they were winning. Bradford have won 16 of their last 18 home games since December the 14th last year, 2024.
That's what?
2024 last year. 10 of those victories happened by 1 goal. They find a way to win, a winning mentality. Graham Alexander, in my eyes, has done the best job at Bradford since Stuart McCall. You look at Phil Parkinson. Phil Parkinson,
because he got them to that League Cup final, didn't he? As a league, as their
and
League
got them to the League One playoff final. I can't remember who they beat in the semi-final, but they got to the playoff final.
Oh yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
I cried then.
Did you cry?
I never cry ever.
Yeah, look, it is, and I completely subscribe to the idea that Bradford supporters. We say it with big crowds. Bolton, we say it with Cardiff, Huddersfield. Big crowds can win you points. We know, little crowds can't affect you, but I think big crowds can win you points when you've got that many fans sucking the ball into that goal. You saw it, Ben, on the final day of last season, didn't you? The Bradford fans literally sucked that ball into the Kop goal. The massive healthy deflection from, was it Harrison Holgate?
No, it was James Bolton. Sarcevic didn't even touch that ball.
James Bolton. Yeah, but Sarcevic 90+6 just sounds better than Bolton own goal.
And getting a side up through 1-0 managed by Graham Alexander. I've seen this film before, and I love the ending.
I bet you do. In fact, I did want to come on to something because we can talk about how good Bradford were. But I also, like I issued an apology to the Cardiff fans, maybe I should issue an apology to Matty Stevens because he's actually took the step up to League One a lot better than I thought he was going to. I know he's played against a team that got promoted last time, but he's scored a number of key goals for Wimbledon this season, and he's been involved in everything that they've been doing going forward. He got the assist, obviously, for Marcus Brown's goal, didn't he? I know he just laid it off to him, but it's still he still has to get the ball to him in that situation. So Matty Stevens has done very well since coming into the league, and I think he's a real big asset. If they keep him fit, then they stand a chance because he started.
I don't think he's had a chance at League One level though. No, he's been here, hardly played.
It was Forest Green, wasn't it, where he had his first real pop, and then
he got a spell at Peterborough as well.
Yeah, they loaned him straight back to. I think they loaned him to Walsall in League Two, from what I can recall, because he got injured, didn't he? A really nasty injury that took him back. But yeah, a big credit to Matty Stevens. He has took the step up well, and I know Wimbledon have not. Well, they have played pretty well, but in their defeats, he is still impacting the game completely. But Bradford, I agree with you, Ben, on pretty much every single point. Bobby Poynton is a fantastic talent, and he can be worth a lot of money to Bradford City Football Club in 12 months' time. Potential, one of their own, real big asset, I would suspect. And Will Swan, I think a lot of the headlines, when you talk about Bradford's front line, would have come from Humphreys, would come from Poynton. Obviously, Andy Cooks would have had the headlines had he been playing Sarcevic. They've brought in Powell now to play up there. And I think Will Swan sort of came in under the sly a little bit because he had a decent season at Crawley last year. But by no means least was he fantastic for Crawley. And he's been at this level with Mansfield as well. He's not really set the world alight. But since going to Bradford, he's just completely upped his performance levels. And that's a massive credit. I know the goal is partially gifted to him by some bad defending, but he's still got to be in that position to put the ball in the net. You know, you can always talk about bad defending, but you've got to be there to capitalise. And that he did. So, yeah, a very good win for Bradford. The momentum still shifts, and they've got momentum, and we know what momentum can do in football. We've seen it for football clubs like, for Bournemouth and for Swansea and Luton, teams in Birmingham City, Ipswich. When teams have momentum, and it can go the wrong way for them as well. But Bradford have got it going forward, and yeah, they're going to be a tricky team to beat at Valley Parade this year, certainly.
I'll let you take the front of this one. Exeter 3, Peterborough 0. Peterborough now winless in 13, losing 9 of them. Third lowest expected goals, least shots shots on target per game, fifth highest expected goals conceded. Exeter, again, 3 wins, 3 defeats. Beat Blackpool, beat Peterborough, and outstanding out of possession. Gary Colwell made comments on that and was happy with that. The goals are so soft. The first one, Adrian Mado literally gets bullied, and it is unbelievable how soft it is. You know, from a POV, you cannot concede that goal.
They will. They'll concede it time and time again. The way that they
Doyle
play
Harris
football.
nicks it off him.
Yeah,
puts the ball across, and Wareham is there to score. The second goal is a cross into the box. McGuinness scores. 4 minutes later, from the other side, a cross into the box. McGuinness scores again. Peterborough used to be this really fancy side, really expansive, would score goals, would create chances, but would concede chances. You knew it was coming. Now they're not even going forward. They're not even creating opportunities.
Got the goals away, aren't they? They're taking all the goals away.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll kind of let you expand on me, but I think that when you let players go, it's all well and good saying, look how much money we've made, and Peterborough have replaced them, but Peterborough keep going for the same type of player and keep trying to get a regen of what they've got. And it's all right if you have a few players like that and they don't work out. It's okay if you have 2 of them around experience. And everyone's going, oh, Peterborough, this young, hungry, fresh side. Where's the leaders? Where's the leaders? Now it's going bad. Where's the lead? Tom Leeds is 34. I don't really see him as a... I see him as a player coming towards the end of his career, kind of, you know what I mean? And I look at even the attacking, Lindigan, Lisby, Garbutt, Ado. This squad, the 11 yesterday that started, is banging trouble. It is banging trouble, and it needs waking up because they have been horrific so far. Absolutely horrific. They have been spineless. They have been weak. They have been opened up time and time again, and so soft, so fragile, had the little bellies tickled. They've got no quality, they've got no sparkle, and it's like they've lost the Ronnie Edwards, the Harrison Burrows, the Mason Clarks, the Pockus, the Mothersills, and
Ricky J. Jones, even, who was a reliable source of goals.
Jed Steer, for example, experience, and they've replaced it with regems and hope for the best, and they've made a team out of it, and it's like you can't do that. You can have 3 or 4, like I've just said, but you can't have a team of it. You need to have your 5 or 6 core of your team that are between 24 and 28. I don't mind having a younger team, maybe one over 30, like your Tom Lees, then have your youngsters. Then when those youngsters are struggling, the older lads take over the dressing room. I look at that, them going in after the game and they're all deflated. And I don't think Darren Ferguson is the right character to lift them when things are wrong, because I think he's quite a dour person that when you're young players, you need lifting, you need an arm around you. I don't think he's that type of manager.
He's a hard
win. They look bang in trouble.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Well, I'm sure you're going to leave a little bit to credit Exeter because
we'll come to Exeter, but Peterborough,
we can slag Peterborough off, but Exeter.
I know you'd quite like that.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I completely, I do completely agree. Tom Lee, I think you can maybe argue that Kioso and Johnston were brought in as leaders. I know Carl Johnston is the vice captain, isn't he? And Kioso, I think, was given the armband last time he was at Peterborough. That's some time ago now. So, yeah, they're soft, they're weak. And what really annoys me is they are just so persistent with it. That's my main issue with Peterborough United. It is this way or there is no other way because we've been successful in this way before. And I agree. They try the same things in the recruitment all over again. They're bringing in non-league gems like Lisby. They're bringing in lads that have played at a lower level and aren't proven. What you need to do when you're in a Peterborough United where they are, you need to bring in proven League One players and players that have done it in this level to supplement those young lads, because those young lads are turning to pros. For example, Lisby, young lad coming from non-league, he's turning to Garbutt next to him, right? Who's never played in England. He's literally never played in England. He's only 24, 25. Played internationally for New Zealand and played in the Eredivisie, but never played in England. Gustav Lindgren never played in England before. Abraham Mado only done it.
Who did this last year, recruitment-wise? Who went all around the globe?
Well, quite a few
Burton.
teams. Quite a few
Burton
teams.
did it
but
specifically,
Burton
and it
did
didn't
do it.
work.
Yeah. The thing is, Peterborough are always unable to unlock a different kind of player to a Burton because they've got a lot of money. And if reports are to be believed, they're about to splash another £1 million on Harry Leonard.
I don't get that.
Blackburn. And to be honest, £1 million for Harry Leonard. I can't say I've ever seen him play football. So how on earth they've just gone? Yeah, £1 million will do. They've paid 800 grand for Keller, 500 grand for Lindgren, a significant fee for Nevitt.
What they need to go and doing is they could go and do betting and sign 4 or 5 in that PFA thing. And
I don't know if that's it. What they need is players that have done it at this level before. They just
exactly. There's players in there that've done it in this level before.
They need Fabio Barini, in my opinion. I think Fabio Barini would be so funny at Peterborough. But yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Lack of leaders. Do you know what they lack, Ben? They lack a spine.
They've always lacked a spine. They are the Spurs of League One. Actually, they're the Arsenal of League One. Nearly, very nearly, Arteta.
Yeah, when you take the goals away like you do out of this Peterborough side, like they have done over the last few years, and you don't replace it with proven goal scorers at this level, you're going to lose more games because you'd always back Peterborough to win a game 4-3. Well, now you back them to lose a game, to concede the 3 goals, but not even score 1 because they're just back them
to have 4 corners.
And now Bradley Ovian, who started the season in pretty good nick. He's now He's now leaving the football club and going to Shrewsbury, apparently on loan. They need League One quality, and they've not got it. But it would be remiss, and I know we've slagged Peterborough off for the last 15 minutes, and we're only 3 games in, and we're 42 minutes into the show.
Right, class, isn't it?
Which is fantastic. Exeter were absolutely outstanding. Outstanding. Out of possession, I thought they did the job really well. They let Peterborough have the ball in areas where they didn't hurt them, and when they got the ball, they were dangerous. Jaden Wareham was outstanding. I know his mum and dad are quite big on TikTok. They've just moved to Exeter recently, I've seen on TikTok. But he looks settled, really, wearing that number 9 shirt, looks confident. Josh McGuinness has always been a threat at this level, hasn't he? Wigan scored goals for Wigan. Been at this level for a long time now and scored goals. Exeter are what they say on the tin, aren't they? They are. They always are. And this is a really big win for them. This is a bit of a statement win, in my opinion, because people are earmarking this as a bit of a relegation 6-pointer. For Exeter to win it in the manner in which they did, for me, that's a statement.
If Exeter can beat the sides that are going to be in and around them this year, they've got 9 points already. For them, it's about doing things right and don't get bored of doing things right. Get up to Christmas. I have their aim for Christmas. They can get over 30 points by Christmas. You're then relying on maybe 6 wins after Christmas, which you think that's normally where they suffer is between November and December. They just want to keep ticking the points tally. McGinn is outstanding up front, scored 2 goals, led the line. Legs in midfield. They have to the our way. Someone I know personally, Craig, in the media team at Exeter. I don't know if you saw it. Gary Colwell did a press conference, and you could tell what sort of guy Gary Colwell is. A relaxed guy, and he's understood the culture. I think he's been there for 2 years now, 3 years. I think he's been there for 3 years now, hasn't he?
3 years, yeah. 3 years.
Since Matt Taylor, and he knew it was Craig's last press conference, so he went, right, your turn. You're in the chair. You've done it for me for 3 years, and turned it around on him. And Craig, I know he's so fond of that football club, and it's a nice way for him to bow out of his role there. We'll move on. Burton 0, Luton 3. Luton's biggest away victory since December 2022 against QPR in the Championship. Luton have won 5 of the last 8 in the league, which is as many as their previous 43 games. Burton, without a win for 5 matches, that's surely up there, one of the longest streaks since Gary Bowyer's been there. They're just starting to lose that little bit of spark, aren't they? I feel like when he came in, yes, your side aren't going to be judged on Luton, Barnsley, Stockport, who they've had recently. And I know they've got the 4 points out of Vale and Mansfield at home, which is where you want to get your points from. But I just feel that when he came in, it was all right. We've got to come in and make this impact. Now he's started afresh and he's got to do it for 46 games. And it's a bit different instead of coming in and you kind of got to make your impact straight away. And I don't feel like he's been back enough as he should have done, if I'm honest with you. I look through the squad and I think they lack leadership. I think they need 3 more players at least.
At least.
No winning 5 can't go on like this, can it?
It can. It can, and I think it will, unless they add depth and experience, because they're turning to some young lads, aren't they? Players that don't have a huge amount of experience at this level. And I think you look at that by the fact that they're playing Taroni on the bench, Dudek's on the bench, a youth academy player. Strahar's not had a huge amount of experience at this level with Shrewsbury. Larson his only experience came last year at Burton as well. Tavares not played a huge amount at this level. And you're already talking about adding players like Tyrese Shade, who's come out of the National League. Sebravan, who didn't hardly play for Wrexham last year as they got promoted. So, yeah, they do need bodies in, and they need experience, and they need some help, don't they? Because I think on paper, I think that starting 11 is okay. I don't think it's the end of the world. I would maybe replace Amissa with Collins now that he's actually in the building, because he's a very good
I think
keeper.
that team can compete for safety.
Oh, yeah, they've got enough quality.
Beasley's
Beasley's
got like the 3rd most expected goals in the division.
It's ex-Jeasley, isn't it? That's just what he does. Amissa, I mean, he's had a couple of stinkers, hasn't he, for a couple of the goals. I mean, the goal from Milan Akali is wonderful. Like, he did do you remember the goal he scored at Burton last year for Exeter?
Yeah.
Absolute stunner. So he's done it before. I've seen a few people online maybe criticising the goalkeeper for that one. The first one, I definitely agree Mrs. should do better.
So poor.
The third one maybe as well, but the second one is such a clean strike from Milan Akali right into that corner. But yeah, like I spoke to David about, they need depth. They need a bit of help. I think they've been linked with Louis Sibley. He would add experience and a bit of quality into midfield. But I think they probably need another centre-back that's played a decent level of football. I think they could do with another striker that's experienced at this level, someone that's maybe 30, 31, 32 years old, that's been there and maybe done it, maybe coming out of the Championship. They need help. They really do need help. And if they don't get it, then they are up a creek without a paddle at Burton. But give credit to Luton then, because you know what we just spoke about Exeter. Luton were good. They were. I don't think they were free flowing. I don't think they were outstanding. But to win a game in second or third gear away from home at this level 3-0 is fantastic. Josh Keeley was made into a couple of saves really late on, but apart from that, very comfortable. I mean, it's a good side, isn't it? You're looking at that team on paper. Ali, Nordash, Jerry Yates is a top player for this level. Mark McGuinness, who cost them 10 million quid a year ago. And the players they can bring on: Bramall, Naismith, Richards, Walsh, Wells. Like, phenomenal depth, phenomenal squad. I spoke to David last night straight after the game, and he said he didn't think he thought.
Nice had time for one of us.
Eh?
Nothing.
Well, I told you the reason this was before I knew that was going on. This was while I was out, so I hadn't got home yet. And he essentially said that he thought that Luton team was as good as Birmingham City, the team that got promoted last season. Which I think I didn't, maybe on first case I didn't agree with, but I think once they beat us 3-0 in a couple of weeks, I maybe will agree with. But yeah, no, very good win for Luton. Burton need help big time.
Yeah, they do. They do desperately need help. And I look through the squad and I think the bench is poor, and I think you can see that Gary Bowyer is thinking, where's my options going to come from? They need reinforcements ASAP. I don't know if any's close. We'll see tomorrow. I think we'll know a lot about this league a lot more tomorrow. Doncaster Rovers won the Yorkshire Derby against Rotherham. They've lost just 2 of the last 12 home league games against the Millers, winning 6 of whom. And Doncaster unbeaten now in their last 10 home matches, winning 6, drawing 4, a win. that's seen them actually score, a lot of goals, 6 times, scored 2 or more, but yesterday 1-0. And it's that man, Owen Bailey, Jack Kershaw's boy, rose highest and headed home. Good finish, to be fair. Very versatile is Bailey. This Doncaster side has got a lot of, I'd call it a very saucy side. I think it's a very fresh side. It's got a lot of good players. You look through the squad and like you just go through the side. O'Riordan, Bailey, Maxwell, Nixon, decent back forward, Pearson and Broadbent in front, and you've got Clifton, Middleton, Sharp and Gibson. It's a good lineup there. There's it's a very good outfield team. The goalkeeper's decent as well. 1-0, 3 points. We'll come to Rotherham in a minute. I'm very impressed with Doncaster side. They started very well, especially at home. 13 points. They don't score a lot of goals. They win a lot of games, fine margin. I think they beat Exeter 1-0. They beat Vale 1-0. They beat Rotherham 1-0. They beat Mansfield 2-1, being a goal down. And they've won all their 4 games by the odd goal. But it's fine margin football. Instead of getting 4 points, they've got 12 points and they're sat 5th. And that's the difference between them and Rotherham. Rotherham are not picking up points. Doncaster are.
Efficient is the word that I would call Doncaster, certainly under Grant McCann. But yeah, you mentioned it there, Ben. I do still think they maybe could have another centre forward, a quality centre forward. They just signed one, didn't they? Was it last night? They signed a lad from Houston in America. So we'll see how he gets on, whether he's got the right profile to come in and hit the ground running. But I do still think that maybe a couple of options in case Luke Molyneux gets cropped and maybe they don't have anyone to turn to, because to be honest, Luke Molyneux is the main creator in this team and the biggest problem if you're an opposition. But yeah, they are very good at what they do in terms of winning tight games. I think they were very good at home in League Two, weren't they? Since they've been relegated, very good at the Keep Moat Stadium. It's the Eco Power, whatever they call it nowadays. I don't know what the sponsorship deal is. But yeah, very good Doncaster, good depth. You're talking about Jay McGrath being on the bench. Charlie Crew was a big part of their promotion last season. Ben Close, Damola Ajayi is a good young player as well. So yeah, fantastic win for Doncaster. Owen Bailey, again, the headline writer. But I do want to give fair props to Conor O'Riordan. I think he had an outstanding game and has made a fantastic start to life at Doncaster. It sounds to me like he's playing that well. The Donny fans are thinking that he's going to get recorded in January. That's how well he's playing, which surprises me because he couldn't really get a kick for Cambridge last season and towards the back end of the year. So, but yeah, a good win, efficient. I think they're playing against a team that they maybe expect to win, given the fact they've got momentum and Rotherham are going the other way. But yeah, some good performances and another good win at the Keep Moat for them.
I call Northampton. I think they were the weakest squad in the league a couple of weeks ago, and as much as I still think they're not a great outfit, they must have done. They've gone and backed it up with 2 good victories, and you can only pray. Like it was Exeter last week, wasn't it? And Leyton Orient this weekend, a good victory away from home. They won there last year. I remember Kevin Nolan did an interview, and there was some Northampton fans on the balcony last year. That's the one thing I remember about the victory last year. And that victory kind of spurred them on to get three big points to keep them in the division. And yes, it was Hoskins with a goal, nice finish into the corner. And Leyton Orient losing back-to-back games for the first time since March, where they lost 5 on the spin, where that 50 feet came to Northampton. After that, they went on a great run. Leyton Orient are always a bit patchy early season. I think we're seeing that again. Northampton have won 3 on the spin against the O's in the Football League for the first time since 1967. A great victory for them. Northampton didn't have a lot of the ball, but again, we're efficient with it. 3 big points and 3 points closer towards survival.
Told you, Potomacs. Told you they're going to beat you. Didn't I?
4-1.
To be fair, to be fair, yeah, that's what I said, wasn't it? To be fair to them, if they took the chances, it probably could have been 4-1. If it wasn't for Tommy Simpkin. Yeah, a good performance backing up that. Well, aren't they? They're supposed to be close to a deal for Don Ballard, Leyton Orient. So that would be interesting to see if they get that one over the line. But whether he's the right sort of profile, I maybe thought that they could do
a League One tour.
Don Ballot, he's done Blackpool, he's done Cambridge, he's done Reading,
Reading.
and be doing Leyton Orient.
He's only young.
Yeah, it's a permanent deal though. I think to Leyton Orient, so that'd be interesting. But how many times, Ben, over the last 10 years of Northampton Town called, look to Sam Hoskins to help them out of a spot of bother? I think you can probably count the amount of times on. Well, in fact, you can't, not on your hands, because he does it quite a lot. He steps up and he is the main man for Northampton, and he come to fruition yesterday. A fantastic goal from him. A nice assist from Tyrese Forner, who's made a really good start to a life in a cobbler's shirt. And as bad as Leyton Orient were, and they are at the start of the season, I think you do have to give credit to Northampton, because defensively much better than what they had been. Certainly. Kevin Nolan's starting to get something out of this group of players now that we have been so critical of over the last couple of weeks. Leyton Orient, they don't start seasons well at all, do they? And to be fair, you look at that team, Ben. There's still some very good players in there. A lot of players that had a big part to play in that run towards the playoffs last year, in Beckles, in Happy, in Sean Clare, in Ollie O'Neill as well. So, yeah, I think Orient are going to get better. I also think Northampton are going to get better, because they couldn't really be any worse. But yeah, a good win for the Cobblers on the road. They like going to Brisbane Road and winning. Like you say, this should now be a wake-up call for Richie Wellens, and we might see an A be active tomorrow, and I expect them to pick up some form between September and October.
If you are new and you haven't already, please go down there if you're not new as well. And the subscribe button needs pressing. Press subscribe for us. We're trying to get 18k. We're 255 off that. So if we can get 5 more, end on 250 away, go and give us a subscription and like the stream. It does really help. So like and subscribe. Let's see if we can gain any more subscribers. We're at 17,745. So all subscriptions are welcome. Stevenage 1, Wycombe 0. Go on the boys. This team is incredible. 5 wins from 6. 3 wins from 3 at home. Vale, the boy. What a guy. What a gaffer. What a performance. 3 points. Go on the boys.
I need an Hamilton.
Go on the boy. We've not conceded a goal. This group is special. Love him to bits. Said Matt Farley. Stevenage 1, Wycombe 0. First time Stevenage have actually kept 3 clean sheets in their opening home 3 matches for the first time since EFL. Only the second time they won the first opening 3 home league matches. They limited Wycombe to 0 shots on target, who've only had 6 shots on target in their 3 away matches. And Stevenage now 150 League One goals in 96 games. Thank you, Boris Stats, for that stat. Or as Farley would shout, stats. Stevenage have now scored 8 in the last 9. Last time they obviously didn't score was Huddersfield. Time before that, Birmingham. What those two got in common? Maybe they'll both win the league this year. You never know.
Don't feed it. Do not feed it. He doesn't need any more encouragement.
I'm not feeding him.
Feed the reed and he will score.
Stevenage 1-0. Good goal to win it. And look, Stevenage, they've got a good team. The fine margin football again, winning 1-0. Ken Campbell, the goal scorer. However, their victory taken off them because they only had 3,000 fans in the ground. So you can't win games of football because you've not got 30,000 in Stevenage. So the flag has gone up. You drew 0-0. We'll get on to Wycombe in a minute because they're a bit...
They're a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't go over the top because that's the job for Mr. Farley. So looking forward to hearing his take on the game tomorrow morning when I get to work. But yeah, it's a result I don't think I saw coming. I'm just checking the predictions now. You saw it coming, Ben. You predicted a win for Stevenage, but I thought Wycombe were going to put up more of a test. But credit to Stevenage. I thought they were. Eh?
For a start, I didn't notice.
Wow. There you are.
You know what it is? Gianni's going like this.
He's just heading everything away, isn't he? Yeah.
I'm genuinely right. I'm going to say this. And I think this might be a little bit unpopular. You know, a certain number 2 for Stevenage. Luther Widlin.
Right, yeah.
I think he's not the best, but up there, one of the best right backs. Consistency in the division as
I
well.
can get behind that. I think he's a very good player. But yeah, good win for Stevenage. Doing what they were known for last year, being resolute, gritty, getting on top in fine margin games against a Wycombe team who, to be fair, is dancing around. It might be his shorts, to be honest, Charlie. When he sat behind the north stand, his legs are that bright. It just puts off the opposition, and it blinds them a little bit. But then he puts trousers on when Stevenage is shooting that way. I don't know if that's what Farley might do. But yeah, getting over the line in fine margin games. Ravella's proved to be that he's the type of manager that can do that. I think they've got much better forward options now. I was talking to Matt actually in the week about this, where you can bring on different types of players for different types of games, where Phoenix Patterson maybe is better for the teams that are sitting deep and you can cross the ball into Jamie Reid, or you've got somebody like a Chem Campbell who did the business yesterday by running directly at the defenders, and it was a lovely goal from him to score his first, I believe, for the club as well. So yeah, a good win for them. I'm sure Farley's absolutely buzzing, but that's an understatement, isn't it?
Wycombe are in trouble again. They've dominated possession statistics in the last few games and not got maybe the rewards in some games. And we came on after the first 3 games and saying maybe they're not getting what they deserve. But yesterday they were bad. No shots on target. They looked timid. They didn't look great back in the last year. That doesn't help things. There's a lot of pressure on Mike Dodds, and both are young coaches. Ravel's a young coach, as is Dodds. One thing I think Ravel's got is a persona, and he's got a freshness, and he's got an excitement about him. And it's not just because he does the fist bumps, but it's like there's an energy around him, and there's a get up and go about him. And you listen to him, and he's like a scientist of the game. And as a lad playing football, you respect Ravel. You know what I mean? He's proper lad. Where with Dodd, you go in and you think, you're like an old English teacher, you're boring me. And he's like, his interviews are, yeah, and obviously we're second best today, and yeah. And it's like, where's the get up and go in that? There's no drive. If you speak to me, I'm falling asleep. But if Ravel's speaking to me, I'm like, okay, what's he going to say next? I'm like, not hooked, but I'm like, I want to get up and go. I understand what you're telling me. Whereas with Ravel, with Dodds, I'm like, I don't really see the way that Wycombe are trying to do. They're trying this new style of football. It's quite frankly not working. They've got no plan B. And they've looked poor for a while now. And yeah, they've dominated games, not won it. They've not dominated games, not won it. There's no plan B. There's no togetherness. There's no spirit. There's no camaraderie like there was under Bloomfield or even Ainsworth.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. He's got no personality to him, really, does he?
Exactly, boring.
He's like a. I tell you what, Mike Dodds is. You know when you go to Five Guys and you get a burger in a lettuce wrap rather than a button? It's Mike Dodds. He's exactly that sort of character. Yeah, I think you're right, Benny. His philosophy isn't clear.
Do you think Garibaldi is boring? This guy takes that to a new level.
What I think got Mike Dodds out of jail quite a lot of times last year was having someone like Richard Coney up front. Now he hasn't got that to get out of free jail free card. I think you're starting to see him as the coach that he is. Not the football's not free flowing like it was under Bloomfield. It's literally night and day. So yeah, I'm worried for Wycombe. Broomer, a good friend of ours, is slightly worried as well. They don't look like they're going to create much. They don't look like defensively they're giving away chances. It's not been a good start to the season, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Dodds sees. I'd be surprised if he sees the season out, given the way that the trajectory that he's currently on.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. Paddy Lane scores the goal against Port Vale. Reading 1, Port Vale 0. Reading get their first 3 points of the season. Port Vale, another defeat. They need a centre forward or two before tomorrow, Jake.
Port Vale. So we play Port Vale. Goodness me, yeah, they do need a centre forward, don't they? Toligo has really messed up their season because he was the only one that scored any goals. Yes, I completely agree. Poor Vale. I called it at the start of the season. I said they were going to go down. They look like they're going to go down. They lost to a Reading team yesterday. It's a lovely goal from Paddy Lane. We've seen that. Charlie's trying to wind me up. Bless him.
He scores a lot of good goals normally. Normally when it's single bang, we time
normally offside. Normally offside from my recollection is Paddy Lane. But hey ho. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Port Vale. I never was. I just don't like Burslem. I think that's the main problem. Look, but you get me to talk about a 1-0 game here that I don't think has a huge amount of significance.
I think for me, I'll say one thing on I'll say a couple of things on Port Vale. Every time they're in League Two, they always recruit really well. Croasdale, Byers, Talai, last year, they sound really well. When they come to League One, they get it so wrong. I don't know what happened. They just get it so wrong. It's like either they get promoted a year early or they just don't back the manager enough. Carol Sharman, the owner there, he's a great custodian for the football club, but there's been some dodgy decisions gone on when they've been in League One. And on the pitch, they don't do the right things at the right time. They've had a lot of shots. They've created a lot of things. They've looked okay. They've just not put the ball in the back of the net. Against Cardiff, should have won that game. Stevenage, you 1-0 up with 2 minutes to go. Should have won that game. And that was when my first thought, this side were in trouble against Stevenage when they did that, because they've not learned from 2 years ago. There's different players in there. Darren Moore will be questioned a lot more this year, because I thought last year they won a lot of games of football because his side were a lot better than the team. I didn't think Darren Moore was a masterclass at them. I really didn't. And I think they'll get found out it this year a little bit. They need 2 centre forwards and quick. If I was Port Vale, I would be getting on to Fleetwood Town tomorrow and putting a 400,000 bid in for Ryan Graydon, because that would be accepted straight away. You're literally talking of 100, 150 grand there. Yes, it's 100, 150 grand, but you've got 1.2 million to play with. You will literally get Ryan Graydon for that amount of money. And I think that he is a Talai type of player. He can hold it, can pin defenders, he can get fouls and get you up the pitch. He's a much better player than he was 2 years ago. He'll be in a better Vale team. They've got decent players, the likes of Hennigan, Stockley, Bryce, Croasdale, Hall. They've got a good team. They scored 2 goals in 6 games. Connor Hall is a centre half until I was going to say a P word then, but he's gone to Plymouth. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not blaming that Talai's gone, because that's a release clause and they've got probably more than what they would have got for Talai anyway, because I don't think he's worth that, but he's worth that to Vale. But I don't think he would have kept Vale up anyway. I just think they're so short. Lincoln 1, Mansfield 1. Sonny Bradley becomes the first Lincoln player to both score and get sent off in a league game since who, Jake?
What, for Lincoln?
Yeah.
Score. It sounds like a Paulie O'Connor thing to do, to be honest.
No. Do you want me to tell you the season?
Go on, tell me the season.
21-22.
Oh. Okay. Score and sent off that season. Oh. Tom Hopper?
Morgan Whittaker.
Oh, Charlton away. Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, we beat Charlton away. I remember, yeah.
Yeah, went 1-0 up, went to 10 men. I must say, and I'm not just saying this because, well, I would say Susie, like, biggest fan, but like Sue's mate now these days. Oh, it's all we hear about, isn't it? I was going around for tea, and the best friend. See, they must be going on holiday together now. I think George Wickens is slowly but surely becoming a really prominent goalkeeper in League One. I genuinely think that 12 months ago he looked this shy goalkeeper, and I thought that he looked good, but he was young. I feel he's developed so much in the last 12 months. I watched him. I watched the 15-minute highlights yesterday before we came on. It was the last game I watched because I wanted to. We've not spoke. Me and Jake have not spoken since Friday. We've not spoken since. So I don't know what he's going to say about Lincoln. I don't know what he don't know what I'm going to say. But he made a string of 4 or 5 really good. A couple of saves you'd expect a keeper to make, but he made 3 or 4 vital ones. Look, there's a couple that went round his post. I think they had one from. I think it was Evans who had it. That was just it went literally just that wide of the post from a header just before the goal. But he made some unbelievable, and he looks like a bigger goalkeeper, a bigger frame, confident, and must be Sue feeding him up before the game. I think that's what it'll be. That's why he looks bigger. He's all the Haribos he gets. But no, look, Mansfield respond with 10 minutes to go. But overall, Jake, 11 points from 6 for Lincoln. It's not a bad start. Talk me through it.
It's not bad, but
what do you think of my George Wickens thing?
I agree. No, I do. I completely agree with you. I think George is a way better goalkeeper.
20 quid, please.
Yeah. I do think George. I think those mistakes that he made last year has made him become a better keeper, and I'm all for it because he's a very talented young man, and I think he's definitely the next one on the production line that we can sell for big money. Yeah, look, this is one. You say 11 points after 6. I can't help but think that maybe we should be on 14 points. I think the red card at Wimbledon cost us, and we could have got a point there. And then I think the red card yesterday completely cost us because at 11
Bolton as well.
I
think Bolton as well. I know you think that overall in the game it's a draw, but for me, when it gets to 95 minutes,
yeah, I agree. For me,
you could be winning the league.
Yeah.
Could have won all 6.
I think 11 v 11. We bossed them. We absolutely bossed Mansfield. And we go 1-0 up deservedly. We could have maybe had another one before that. Really happy. And I'm gonna say I know what people are like because I know people think that I'm bitter and etc. But I will give Mansfield credit eventually. I will get round to it at some point. The referee yesterday, absolutely. I mean, if you look at it, I think he gave us 7 yellow cards, 2 to the officials. I know you're trying to line up some elaborate joke, Ben, to make me have a go at the ref. I know what you like. But he was just so inconsistent. And for me, Sonny Bradley's red card, I can't understand how he's got to that conclusion. There's an issue with Will Evans, who, in my opinion, is offside and interferes with Colin McGrandles, and they should put the flag up. He doesn't do, and he plays on. Then all of a sudden, the player that's going towards the goal, Sonny Bradley, probably is. Well, is he last man? He's got people coming around to cover, I think, in Tom Bayliss. But I think George Maris is going away from goal. I don't see him going towards it. I know you're laughing. You're probably texting David right now going, I knew he'd be on about the referees. I know exactly what you're like, Mr. Natman.
I'm not.
For me, the ref gets it wrong, right? And luckily it's only a 1-game ban rather than 3, so we're only going to miss him for Wigan, hopefully. But then he just made a string of really poor decisions. Every free kick was a foul. Every free kick was a yellow card. We were able to do things that Mansfield players were able to do. We had 3 players booked for dissent. Mansfield kicked the ball away, had a go at the line, and didn't get anything. And defending 1-0, I thought we were absolutely fine. I thought we were good at defending, where they didn't look like they were going to get in. They made a load of subs at half time, probably the freshness. And the one time they did play good football down the right-hand side, they were very good. It was a very good team move from Mansfield, and it warranted a goal. The move warranted a goal. I won't deny them, because I think the stats look skewed probably when you're playing against 10 men for the amount of time that they were. I think they were disappointed that they've not won the game, given the fact they had momentum, certainly after they scored. On the face of it, I'm happy with the way we played. I think 11 v 11, we win the game comfortably as well. I think Mansfield fans I spoke to have said the same thing. I'm disappointed because we dropped 2 points to Mansfield, who celebrated like it was a cup final for them, and I don't blame them, because I would have done the same thing if the shoe was on the other foot, right? But it's a little bit embarrassing. But go on,
carry on.
No, I was disappointed. I think the referee cost us yesterday. In my opinion, I think the referee was heavily favouring Mansfield, and that was.
Jake said 3 minutes ago, "Oh, I'm not going to be bitter. I will praise Mansfield."
I did praise Mansfield. I did. The goal was really good.
Jake, I'm not going to be bitter. However,
yeah. Look, I'm disappointed, Ben, because we dropped
red card.
It wasn't. I think you see that.
Last man.
Hey,
Who's last man?
right? But it shouldn't have got there. And plus, the bloke's going away from goal. I don't think
He's
it's.
last man.
Hey,
He's last
but
man.
but it's not denial of a goal scoring opportunity because he's not going towards goal. So what's he?
Okay, Jake.
So what's he denying?
Okay, Jake.
Look,
If Ben House was going through 1-on-1 or James Collins,
it's different.
you never know. He's denying 1-on-1 situation. You know you would, Jake.
Hey? Yeah, but this is what football is. You back your corner.
If that's a Lincoln City player going through on goal, you're not telling me that's not a red card.
Hey? I'm saying every team in that situation defends their player. You would do it for Fleetwood.
Exactly. Well, no, I'd be honest. I did.
Yeah,
Fleetwood
I'm being honest.
A player sent off yesterday. I came out and said it wasn't a red card.
You said it wasn't.
I was honest.
So if the Barrow one's not a red, how's Sonny Bradley's a red card? If you say the Barrow one's not,
because I'm just trying to wind you up.
Oh yeah, because you just change. Yeah, you're trying to wind me up. Exactly. Yeah, it's
anyway.
No.
Anyway, it's okay, but you got a point. It's fine.
It's not fine because we should have more points, but such as life. The ref wanted to make it all about him, which is fine.
However, in League One this campaign, no side has conceded more goals than Blackpool, 13. Bolton had the ball back in the net twice, one disallowed for offside. They can't win at Blackpool, can they? They've not won there since 1977. 13 home games in the league, unbeaten for the Seasiders, winning 6, drawing 7. Blackpool weren't great yesterday. Got a point. Bolton's 4th 1-1 draw in a row. In all 4 games, probably feel they should have at least won 3, if not 4 of them. Blackpool had the first off. Dale Taylor, it goes down as a Sharman low own goal, but Dale Taylor gets his first goal of the season. In his mind, the striker will always claim it. Blackpool looks so robust. I don't think they should be playing the shape they should. I think they should go. Personally, if I was Steve Bruce, I'd go 4-3-3, put Honeyman into attacking midfield. He's playing kind of as either a right midfielder or sometimes as a part of a front two. I'd go 4-3-3. If I'm honest with you, I'd go Beasley on one side. I'd put Honeyman in attacking midfield. I would put I'd put a centre forward up there. I'd go with more likely Ennis when he's back, and then your right winger is one of either Hansen or CJ Hamilton. That's for me the weakness in that side. A 1-1 draw for Blackpool again. They didn't look great stats wise. 0.29 expected goals at home. It's been a flat start. Bolton, I think, are getting there, getting better, seeing the fruits of it. And I think when it drops, it will drop. Bolton are due a 3 or a 4-0 win. Blackpool, I struggle with.
But by the way, have you seen down here that Sue has just said, "Boys will be boys" when you're trying to wind me up? If that was me winding you up, can I just say, "Oh my, it'd be Jake. This is awful. It's horrific." Do you know what I mean? So
Sue's at home going now. Yeah.
Yeah. Point is, what was I trying to say? Yeah, look, to be honest, mate, it was a 1-1 draw. Yeah, I agree that Bolton are going to get there eventually. I think they'll. I think that they are going to get there. They've got too much quality. If they can sign, they're linked with Marcus Force, haven't they? He's been at this level before, I think. Lad at Wimbledon, he's a very good addition. They can add him up front. A decent point, I think, for Bolton, although they would have wanted to have won the game, like you said. It's a shame for Dale Taylor that it's gone off Charman Lowe's back. Mason Burstow, another goal. That's another positive. Glad to see he's not caught the ball this week. It's it's a good point.
Yeah, because you're bullying a minor there.
Hey, you're not a minor. Grow up. You're older.
Disability.
Mate, I've got a disability. What's your point? I've got dyspraxia.
So have I. Sorry, something more interesting on your phone.
Yes, actually. Predictions.
Who's messaged you?
It's predictions.
Going Price.
No, it's predictions. Actually, I'm looking at my predictions.
Yeah.
Are we there yet?
Well, Blackpool's got the lowest expected goals in the division. They look flat. they don't look like a Blackpool team for me. That is on the front foot, attacking, crossing to the box. They look very much 11 individuals out there. I know for the best. For me, the shape, the structure, I don't know what they do in training. Dwight Gale came out about Bruce and said his training was never there. I just feel like he's putting 11 men out there in a 4-4-2 shape, try and break on the counter. You can't do that at home. You could do that against 11-man Huddersfield when you got 10 men, but I genuinely feel they need to go 4-3-3 and they'll get more out of it. Wigan 1, Stockport 1. I'll let you talk me through it. Stockport held to a point at home. Wigan, again, started well at home, to be fair to them. And to be fair, started well this season. Been a bit more front-footed, 1-1. And, Fevier's goal cancelled out by Christian Sadie's late strike.
I mean, they've got to know each other pretty well this week, haven't they? Wigan and Stockport, having played each other twice in the space of 4 days.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that.
Eh?
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
they're both at the Brick as well.
Both at the Brick. Wigan won on Tuesday, and Stockport got a point today. Jalen Fevrier, I think he's going to be a big part to what Stockport are doing this year. Came in and made an impact in the second half of last season. Very, very good player. Very tricky. He's got a very unique profile on that right hand side. He can bully his way past defenders, and he did that for the goal. Cancelled out by Christian Sadie, who's had a very good start to life at Wigan. A massive part of why they've been much better offensively this year than they have in previous years. I thought they were good value for a point. Wigan, I thought they'd done enough. Stockport probably the more disappointed side, given the fact the ambitions of the two clubs this season. I think if you look at the stats, Wigan more shots, not many on target, same as one another. Similar sort of stats in terms of getting into the area, goalkeeper saves, that sort of thing. So, by the looks of it, on paper, the draw was probably the right call. Which, Stockport haven't started the season off perhaps as well as people would have expected. I think maybe they were setting the bar a little bit higher for Stockport, given the signings, the money they spent, and the players that they brought in. But 11 from 6, they're only 5 points behind Cardiff. I imagine they might make that gap up before the end of the season.
Yeah, agree with you there. Right, any questions? Get them in. Let's turn our attention to predictions.
Yes, Ben. 6 points apiece this weekend. No score, correct scores for either of us. We just got 6 correct outcomes, if that makes sense. Meaning that you're on 38 and I'm on 42 as we go into the first international break of the season. And I'm now going to desperately check my phone and check what games we have next week. SofaSaw's got them all going on. Let me see if the BBC have got them.
I know Reading's off. Cardiff's off, I know that.
September games. So by the looks, according to BBC, we've got Blackpool, Luton off. We've got Cardiff, Burton off. We've got Reading, Northampton off, and we've got Stevenage, Barnsley off at the moment.
You were just hoping there was enough games, no show next week, weren't you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I love doing a show on Sunday night. You know me. Right, then we'll start with a get. Look, if any of these games go ahead, obviously our predictions are null and void. But starting with you, Ben. No early kickoffs next week, but we do start at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium, where Bolton Wanderers are taking on AFC Wimbledon.
2-0 Bolton Wanderers. They'll get things right eventually, Bolton, and I think that it's about to click. Yeah,
I'm gonna go Bolton 4, Wimbledon 0. I think this is the time that they start to click. Doncaster Rovers are playing against Bradford at the Eco Park. I remember this game last year. It was Leyton, wasn't it? And it was
2-1.
And Bradford missed a penalty from
I think Donny got promoted that day.
Yeah, Rob Street scored. Topical.
2 big derbies for Bradford in the next couple of weeks. We got Huddersfield a week after.
I'm gonna go Doncaster Rovers 1, Bradford 1.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Bradford.
1-0 Bradford. Ben, coming to you for Huddersfield against Peterborough.
Peterborough are one of 3 clubs winless at home. I know they're away, but they're one of 3. By the way, there's a trend here. There's only 3 clubs that have yet to win a game of football. And every team that have won at least one game, it's been at home. The 21 teams have won a game of football, and the game that they've won have always been at home, if that makes sense. So the 3 winner sides have not won at home. So it says home form, home point is important. 3-0 Huddersfield.
Peterborough won it last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, I think.
Yeah, definitely won 2.
Everyone won at Huddersfield back end of last year.
No, they didn't. Well, so if the game finished at half time, then maybe they did.
I went to that game. It was good. Marston's was good.
I can't wait for Marston's, mate. I'm gonna go.
They out like me, you, and Flowers and Sue and.
Yeah. Did you go 2-0?
3.
I'll go 2 then. I'll go 2-0.
Should have said 2-0 for your score predictions null and void.
Yeah. Lincoln are playing the Ticks. Playing Wigan Athletic on Saturday.
Oh, hello.
Oh wow. Is that Jack Ward as I live and breathe?
He'll be here next year.
I was about to say she's getting prepared for Oxford.
Really, lad?
Returning. Yeah, they had a miserable result in the week, didn't they? Oxford. They got beat 6-0 at home. Good teams don't get beat 6-0 at home, Jack. You should know this, especially because you beat us 6-0 at home. What am I going to say? Lincoln Wigan. I think we win this one. 11v11. I think we're better than Wigan. I'm going to go Lincoln 2, Wigan 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wigan beat Lincoln. That was that game that basically cost you your top 6 spot, wasn't it?
Last season was a 0-0 draw. It was an early kickoff.
1-1.
But yeah,
you don't like an early kickoff, do you?
Yeah, but it's not an early kickoff.
So. No, I know, but you don't normally like an early.
No, Luton's an early kickoff for us. Can't wait.
At
2-1 I'm going to go for. Ben, coming to you for Plymouth Argyle versus Stockport County.
2-0 Stockport.
2-0 Stockport. I'm gonna go Plymouth 1, Stockport 1. I think they both get a point. Port Vale versus Leyton Orient. I've said Port Vale are rubbish, and I really want to get at Parmex. He's gone for 1-0 Wigan, so I'm going to go for 1-0 Port Vale. Bring it on! Go on, Vale!
2-1 Port Vale.
Yes! I
love the way you and him are having beef.
Yeah, Parmex knows him.
Parmex is like the loveliest lad you could ever come across, and he's giving it this.
Yeah, just having a bit of beef.
A bit like those Barrow fans did to me yesterday. I just shut them back with their old.
Rotherham versus Exeter. Who are Exeter? I'm going to go Rotherham. Another draw, maybe. No, Rotherham 2, Exeter 1.
1-1.
I thought you might take the draw. And then coming to you last, Ben. Wycombe Wanderers against Mansfield Town.
1-0 Wycombe.
I'm going to go 1-1. I like the 1-1. Right then. There we go. There's prediction.
The first manager's in trouble then, Jake.
The first manager in trouble. Well, if it's not Darren Ferguson.
I think Matt Amshaw could be in trouble eventually. I know he's only just been appointed on a long-term deal, but
Mike Dodds. Is there a point that Mike Dodds is in trouble soon? Yeah, I think he could be up a paddle. If he's not back tomorrow, maybe Gary Bowyer might walk at Burton. Wouldn't be surprised.
Gary Rowett might walk it. You said Gary Rowett then.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, he used to manage him as well, didn't he? Gary Bowyer, might walk.
You like trying to test me if I'm listening to you?
No.
You should have said yes.
Yes. We're not live tomorrow, are we, Ben? We're doing a video instead that should be out on Tuesday, but we're just...
I'm glad your Wi-Fi hasn't gone down this week. That's good news, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? The system's fully working this week. No surprises.
Just go and watch that back.
No, please
That's all
don't.
I'll say. I
No,
won't
please
say anything more.
No, please
Just go
don't.
and watch that back and see what Jake says. That's all.
It was
I'll
like
say.
it was like a slamming doors moment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Someone just fallen off the roof.
It was. Shh.
In my defense, I didn't have a defense for it.
Oh, you know.
It was the internet. Dodgy internet. Dodgy. Wardy, don't worry about it. Dodgy internet.
It's a slamming doors moment. My favourite part of that is when we're on tea flop and she slammed the doors and you went and you jumped up. Oh, Jesus.
On a boat. I wonder if what.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
I
he
don't
goes,
know.
"How are you, Wardy?" And he's like, "Oh, mate, I'm good. I'm on a boat."
What else have we got, Ben?
We're going to do a video tomorrow night. We're going to film a video because we've both got work and I'm going to go and pump some iron. So, yeah. Not the.
Not the first time.
Who's the most informed team currently in League One?
I think he means in form, and I'll have to say Cardiff.
Yeah, you'd have because they've Nathan Trott and goals kept 5 clean sheets. Some can say, look, they've kept 5 on the trot.
Yeah.
Any questions to finish us off? Let us know in chat down below.
Transfer deadline day tomorrow, Ben. How many did Fleetwood sign?
1.
1.
How many did the Lincoln sign? 2.
2. Left back and a midfielder.
Who surprised you most this year? Plymouth Vale. Bad
Stevenage.
No, I'm not surprised by Stevenage.
Doncaster, I'm surprised.
Yeah, Bradford as well. I expect them to
Wimbledon.
start well, but maybe not as well.
Mansfield have started quite well. 10 points from 6. That's a good return for the Stags.
Yeah, big question for you.
Well, it's been rejected, hasn't it? I expect Rob Street to be a Lincoln player at this point tomorrow. But we'll see. If they offer a stupid amount of money again, then we might have to accept it. But for now, he's a big part of the first team furniture, I'd have thought.
Ryan Hardy's on the move again.
Oh, yeah. Do you not remember?
Oh,
Deadline day. I think Ryan Hardy's for sale, personally. Do you remember that? And Wardy got so excited. Wardy's face just went from like, oh my God, who's this kid? To, oh my God, we're going to sign Ryan Hardy. Well, I think he's personally for sale, Wardy. So I reckon you stand a chance there, mate.
I know.
I'll tell you what would be upsetting if Josh Murphy left Pompey for Leicester. I'm sure Wardy would take no satisfaction in Josh Murphy walking away from Portsmouth to go to thingy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good show as always, Jake.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Got a shorter show. When I say we have a shorter show next week, we've got 8 games.
Yeah. With that, we'll still be 2 hours.
Yeah, but no doubt we'll still have done 3 games by 45 minutes. So
yeah, but that's what we want. They want in depth.
Yeah,
I don't speak to anyone the rest of the week, so I'm like, let's go on here and waffle.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It was good. Nice to have the regulars in the chat as well. Nice to see Wardy, of course.
Yeah.
We love to see Wardy. Hope he's doing well. I know he's just finished university.
Oh, mate, keep in touch, Wardy. We'll have to have a group call, the T-Flop boys, I reckon.
Yeah, congratulations on finishing uni. Welcome to the real world and getting a job. So we'll see how he goes. But yeah, hope you're well, Wardy. Nice to see you. And
yeah, we'll have to have a catch up soon.
Thanks for everyone dropping in, and I'll see you, Nappers, next weekend.
Maybe not.
Oh, brilliant. Perfect. I've only secured you a ticket, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, maybe not.
I'll sell it.
What?
I'll sell it.
Yeah, I need a text. Basically, the game is on, I think.
Oh, so your game is on?
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah. I know, it's a bit annoying. I wanted it to be off. So,
Well, I wanted our game to be off.
so you could come Fleetwood.
Fleetwood Notts County. We go Hooters.
Yeah,
Why
sounds
do you
good.
think Ryan Hardy's for sale? It's an inside joke. Kat. If you what year was that? Was that
20, I wasn't part of it then. I was in hospital then, 2022.
yeah, 2022? I would play the clip, but Wardy got sent for a hot dog by what was his name? Archie? Is his name Archie? Plymouth fan?
No idea.
Plymouth fan at the time, saying he thought he was for sale, but then he wasn't and fired them to promotion. So
Right. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please give us a like. Please subscribe. All that jazz. And we'll be making a video tomorrow. So we'll be back here on Tuesday evening with that video. Until then,
evening.
see you then. Thanks for watching. A big over and out.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Oh. Oh, hello. Oh, yes, Lift Girl. Oh, fantastic. Oh, no, that sounds wrong. I was clapping my hands.
Go on, the boy. 9 months.
It's enough time to have a chocolate bar.
Expensive chocolate bar.
Red card.
It's the Dubai chocolate bar, isn't it?
Oh.
Bye all.
See ya.